Hello, my name is Priscilla, and today I wanted to share with you the neurovascular holds for the 5 elements. This is based off of the Chinese 5 elements, and each one will have a certain hold along with a certain breath and a sound. And this is just a great way to bring whatever emotion is present to the forefront and keeping our blood in our forebrain versus going into our adrenal glands, going into that fight, flight, or freeze mode. So here we go. We're going to start with the water hold. We begin by placing our hand on our forehead. Neurovascular points are right here on our forehead, these 2 points. And when you just put your whole hand there or let your fingers rest, you'll hit those points. So don't get too stressed about which points you're holding. One whole hand over the forehead is really quite nice. And then bringing your other hand to the back of the head, right at the occipital bone. So you're just going to let your thumb kind of rest into that occipital bone. And just holding here, the sound for water is kind of like a silent whoo sound, or WHO. It's almost like you're blowing out candles. And just give it a try. Holding one hand over your forehead, the other hand at the back of the head. Breathing fully in through the nose, out through the mouth. And for our water element, the typical go-to emotion is fear. So we're just going to bring to mind anything that we may have fear, any fear that's in the body, and just bring it to mind, breathing it in, acknowledging it. Blowing it out, letting it go. And a nice mantra here that you can repeat to yourself is, I dissolve my fear with love. I dissolve my fear with love. I dissolve my fear with love. And we're going to gently release. Maybe give yourself a nice stretch. Roll out the shoulders, the neck. Just noticing what you notice. Next, we're going to move into our wood element. And the wood element typically goes into anger. And so if you ever catch yourself really angry or caught in this, again, fight, flight, or freeze, we're going to calm the triple warmer, which is what controls fight, flight, or freeze. So for wood, we're going to start with bringing the thumbs to right on the outside of the eyes. And the fingers are going to rest over the forehead. And again, just closing your eyes here, breathing in through the nose. On the exhale, the sound is shh. It's an SH sound. And just continuing that breath. And I always like to think of leaves blowing in the wind. And silently saying the mantra, I constructively move through my anger. I constructively move through my anger. I constructively move through my anger. Just maybe pressing the fingers into the forehead, pulling down towards the temples, smoothing up behind the ears, down the neck. Rest your hands on the shoulders, pulling up any tension. Letting it go. Letting the hands come down to the heart. Next in the cycle, we have our fire element. And fire element typically goes into panic or anxiety. So if you ever catch yourself in a state of panic or anxiety, the go-to hold is going to be one hand over the forehead, the other hand at the top of the back. So kind of like a high ponytail. The back of the head just a little bit higher, not right on top, but just right at the back near the top of the head. And the sound is like an AH sound. Just continuing that breath. You can even envision as if you were really, really hot, like fire. Fire burns hot. If you're really hot-headed and you just have some cool water pouring over you. So relieving. And just continuing this breath, our mantra is, I am safe. Everything is always working out for me and through me. I am safe. And everything is always working out for me and through me. I am safe. And everything is always working out for me and through me. Let the hands drift down. Again, just take any movements that call. Next, we're going to move into our earth element. And earth typically brings a lot of worry. Worry is the go-to for earth element. And so our hold for the earth element is to bring the thumbs to the cheeks. This is grounding through stomach. Fingers are going to rest on those neurovascular points. So again, thumbs at cheeks, cheekbones, right below the eyes, fingers resting on the forehead. And the sound is a Darth Vader-like sound. So breathing in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth, but the lips are going to remain closed. And another great tip for this breath is you can imagine like you're fogging up some sunglasses. That same activation. Close the lips. And create that activation at the back of the throat. And that is the breath we're going to use. So it's an inhale with a slight whisper. And an exhale with a slight whisper. Okay. So coming back to this hold, connecting to that breath. We call this Ujjayi, ocean breath, or you may even hear Darth Vader breathing. And our mantra for the earth element: I release my worries and trust in the universe. I release my worries and I trust in the universe. I release my worries and I trust in the universe. And again, just pressing the fingers down towards the temples, up over the ears, just smoothing out behind the neck, down to the shoulders. And then resting hands at heart. Feeling what it's like to trust in the universe, to trust in the divine plan, to trust in yourself. Everything is exactly as it needs to be for the best and highest good of all. Our next element is the metal element. And the metal typically goes to grief. The hold is one hand over the forehead, one hand right on top of the head. And the sound is S, like a snake. Or even imagining you're letting air out of a balloon or out of a tire. It's that letting go, breathing in through the nose. And just continue this breath, your own pace, your own rhythm. And silently saying to yourself our mantra: I acknowledge my grief and release it with ease and grace. I acknowledge my grief and I release it with ease and grace. I acknowledge my grief and I release it with ease and grace. And slowly release the hands down. Move any way that the body needs to move. Yawning is always a good sign. It means that energy is moving. And just noticing what you notice. I'd like to thank you for practicing these holds with me today. And I hope that they bring you some relief, release and stress, and help you find balance within all the elements. The light in me recognizes and honors the light within you. Namaste.